I had my stomach completely removed on July 3rd, and here are the 10 things that I needed immediately after I got home from the hospital. After surgery, the likelihood of getting bile reflux, which is kind of like heartburn, but it's not exactly the same because now you don't have a stomach. Anyway, the chance of getting bile reflux is pretty high, but if you sleep more upright at like a 45-degree angle, the likelihood of you getting bile reflux is actually greatly reduced. So that's why I have this wedge pillow. After I got home from the hospital, this wedge pillow saved me because, I don't know if you know this, hospital beds are the worst. This one is memory foam. It's actually, it's pretty great. It's really more of just a place for my other pillows to live so that I can sleep more upright and just be cozy all night and not have bile reflux. Shower chair. It really just speaks for itself, but this shower chair is at the hospital. And then when I got home and I had a shower chair ready for me, I was so happy. I didn't think I'd be as exhausted as I was when I got back from the hospital, but the shower chair just allowed me to like relax in the shower. And I was very tempted to just keep it in my shower forever. Shower chairs are just like so comfortable and great to have. Sick bags. When I was at the hospital, I had a terrible incident with a pancake, but these sick bags helped me incredibly because it is so much easier to yak in these sick bags. They're called emesis bags? Emesis bags for sick cleanup. They're actually great to have if you have a kid too, because kids just throw up immediately anywhere they want, but with these bad boys, you're always ready. Hi, Kelsey.
Hi.
This is the food scale. This literally saves my wife and I from fighting because it measures in ounces. When you get home from the hospital, when I got home from the hospital, it was like, how many calories am I eating? So food scale helps you just like measure out serving sizes, because serving sizes usually come in like, 1 ounce of carrots is 100 calories or whatever. So food scale is very important. So I'm very happy I had one of these after I got home from surgery. Obviously, snacks. You gotta have snacks. But the snack that really helped me get through the first few days after I got back from the hospital, protein bars. They are so packed with just calories and protein that one of these will definitely help you get through the day. In like packs of 10, boy, do they pack a punch. I kind of got sick of them after a while, but in those first few days, especially coming back from the hospital, I knew that these were like packed with calories. I could keep them down, and not too many added sugars or anything. But just overall, a good choice if you're trying to test the waters. Protein bars. Food diary. Look at all these days of food that I wrote down when I got home. I could have used it on my phone, but I really enjoyed just like writing it down and actually having a catalog of it so my wife and I can like look at it and see and track the calories together. So food diary is a big one. It was really great to have to take into the doctor at my checkup to be like, this is all the food I've been eating. I hope you're proud of me. And the doctor was very proud of me. I actually gained weight. This is Sir Coughs a Lot. He is a very nice stuffed bear that I got from City of Hope. Thank you, City of Hope. Basically, every time I coughed, sneezed, laughed, anything really, I just bear down on Sir Coughs a Lot. Allow me to demonstrate. Achoo! I use Sir Coughs a Lot to bear down on my incisions so that, my stomach stayed together. So, bear down. Get something. Multivitamins that include B12 because, I don't have any more ways to process B12 or create B12 in my body because now I don't have a stomach. This is like a really easy Trader Joe's chewable multivitamin that helps with digestion and stuff and has some B12 in it. It's not going to be enough if you're looking to like supplement a full B12 need. I needed to get a shot for that now, and I probably need to get a shot again, but this chewable multivitamin is great. We can't really talk about coming home from the hospital without talking about, you guessed it, a blender. This is the Vitamix. It's a very intense blender, but really any blender will do. But when I got home from the hospital, oh my Lord. I was eating so many shakes, drinking so many shakes, and this thing can blend all the things. All the things. It can just blend. You don't have to worry about it. I got this as a gift from my friends because they felt bad for me because I had cancer. And I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. Any blender will do, but whoo, the Vitamix. Blender ball cup. When I got back from the hospital, I was trying to mix my protein shakes just with like a fork in my cup. Terrible. When I got the blender ball cup, oh my gosh, it was like 2 or 3 days later. Changed the game. I could drink protein shakes so much easier. Blender ball cups are a must for anyone coming back from the hospital. I shouldn't be able to consume or do like a lot of things. So here are 10 things that I thought I wouldn't be able to do or shouldn't be able to do now this soon after surgery, but I can because I'm just like a complete freak of nature or something. One of the first things I was told when I was told I was going to lose my stomach was that I was going to lose the ability to drink water. Just like all water was going to taste bad. I would need liquid IV. Water would just feel like slimy and I just wouldn't be able to take it down. I can just drink water though. I have to drink it slowly and I can't like chug 4 huge or 7 huge massive gulps like I used to. But I drink water pretty normally and it doesn't taste weird. Oh God, I love water so much. Drinking water is probably the thing that I was scared of losing the most. So the fact that I can just like consume it without any real big issue. Sure, I feel full right now. The water's like up here, but it doesn't taste weird. It's still water. And it's great. When I was in the hospital just after surgery, I wasn't allowed to eat anything solid. So I was only on a liquid diet until like 3 days after when I was allowed to move up to solids, which actually just meant like soup and cream of wheat. Then when I got home, I thought I was going to be on smoothies and like juices and heavy creams for weeks and weeks and weeks. But when I got home, I just had solids and chewed a whole bunch, just chew a lot more than I thought I would have to. And it just went down fine. I also swallow my food in like half swallows now. But again, I can just eat solids. I don't know if you've heard this, but apparently breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But unfortunately, a lot of people in the stomachless community can't really enjoy food in the morning because their systems aren't like warmed up. But for me, that's just not the case. I wake up in the morning, I drink water, I have some coffee, I have maybe like a yogurt or some mush, and try my hardest to get my daughter out the door for daycare, which is honestly one of the hardest things every single morning. But then after she goes to school, I have a banana or something, and it's pretty much exactly what it used to be. Except I'm not like chugging 20 ounces of water beforehand. I'm just kind of like actually enjoying water more now. Anyway, I'm a freak of nature. I actually didn't think that I was gonna be able to like just walk around after surgery. I thought I was gonna be laid out for weeks. But like the day after my surgery, the nurses had me up walking around. It was difficult, but I was walking around. And then the day I got home from the hospital, I went to go get my daughter from daycare. And I surprised myself and the staff that I had told that I was getting my stomach removed, that I was just up and around, having a great time. It wasn't that bad at all. I used to drink a lot of milk when I was a kid, so when I found out that I might become lactose intolerant after my total gastrectomy, I was very sad. But this is whole fat Greek yogurt, and I eat it just fine. Throw some strawberries in there, and it's a great source of protein too. And I just down it. I had cereal this morning for breakfast with milk. So no dairy intolerances either. This is whole fat Greek yogurt. Whole fat. Give me more. Sleeping after eating was something that I was told is going to be like next to impossible after my total gastrectomy. Not for me. Thanks to my handy dandy wedge pillow, I'm like totally fine after eating. Bioreflex is the real big reason why sleeping after eating is like a terrible thing to experience. But thanks to my wedge pillow, I haven't really like experienced it at all. I've had a couple of instances of bioreflux, but that's because I had like some spicy snacks before bed, like 30 minutes before bed. I don't really recommend that, but I know people that have to wait like 2 or 3 hours before actually like laying down in bed. Maybe it's because of my wedge pillow that I haven't had this issue, but I sleep great every night. I mean, unless my daughter wakes up in the middle of the night, but that's not because of my total gastrectomy. That's just because she's a toddler. Yeah. Dark chocolate peanut butter cups from Trader Joe's. This one is important because of dumping syndrome, which I have literally not experienced once since my total gastrectomy. In fact, when I was in the hospital, I had to consume some blue liquid to make sure my incisions weren't like leaking or anything. And I just drank blue Gatorade. It was so insane that when the surgeon came in to check on me, she looked at me and said, "Did you drink all of that blue Gatorade?" I went, "Yeah, over like 24 hours. And she goes, "And you didn't get diarrhea? How is that possible?" What? So I haven't had any dumping syndrome. In fact, delicious. I didn't think I'd ever be able to burp again. I know that's a weird one, but I thought that all the burping that I had ever done came from the stomach, and I guess it isn't. Now, I burp all the time, and it's because that's how I know if I have room to eat or drink something. Also, it's medical, so people can't get mad at you for burping, because if I don't burp, I don't know if I can put more stuff in my mouth hole to consume calories, so it's so fun to burp now, because I thought I'd never be able to again. I weigh 178 pounds. Well, 179 pounds according to this scale. Before my stomach removal, I was told that I was going to lose massive amounts of weight if I didn't really pay attention to my calorie intake. And I didn't think I'd be able to get any calories in order to like sustain a healthy weight loss or even gain weight. In the hospital, for God's sakes, I only ate like maybe 1,000 calories in 6 days. Like truly, maybe even 1,000 calories in just like 6 days, which is crazy. I got home and I actually could take down solid foods and eat really thick, think protein bars, like packed with calories, packed with protein, packed with nutrients. I went in to my 3-week checkup and I had gained 4 pounds from when I left the hospital. I left the hospital and I had lost like 17 pounds. And then when I went back for my 3-week checkup, I had gained 4 pounds. The surgeon that performed my surgery, who, let's guess, has done over 1,000 of these procedures, definitely, had never seen it before. She had never seen anyone gain weight in the 3-week checkup. What is wrong with me? Eating meals with people was something that I was like truly really scared of doing. But then when I got home, and I know it's only been a few weeks, and I've eaten meals with like friends and family, and I've even been to parties a couple of times. And before my total gastrectomy, I was really scared of being perceived as some kind of like freak of nature, like a zoo animal on display for everyone to like stare at while I was eating. But that's just not the case. I eat slower and no one's staring at me, waiting for me to like throw up and seeing how it's different that I eat. Nah, I just enjoy meals with friends and family like usual. I might be the most self-conscious person at the table, but no one's looking at me. No one cares. They just love me and want me to be okay. And just listen, if I get anything wrong, just let me know in the comments, because I'm not a doctor. I just don't have a stomach anymore. There are different types of stomach cancers. There are stomach cancers that have tumors like in one location. And then there's the stomach cancer that I had, which is hereditary diffuse gastric cancer. With the tumor one, I think you might be able to keep some of your stomach, maybe. But with mine, I wasn't able to keep any of my stomach because I had the really special one. Bye-bye tum-tum. Total bye-bye tum-tum. Hereditary diffuse gastric cancer is caused by a gene mutation. Commonly, it's caused by the CDH1 mutation, but I had the newer, more intense and cool one called ctNNA1. CDH1 is actually connected to ctNNA1, so the thought is that if CDH1 can fail, ctNNA1 can fail, and guess what? It does. Hereditary diffuse gastric cancer. Can you see my wife? No, you can't see my wife. Hello, wife.
Hi.
Signet ring cells are tiny little dickheads that live inside your stomach that can cause cancer. There's a debate right now whether or not or how long the signet ring cells can actually stay in your system before they cause cancer. But the odds are that if you find a signet ring cell, you'll probably find cancer some way down the line. I had 16 signet ring cell foci just waiting to explode when they dissected my stomach. Digestion doesn't really happen in the stomach. I mean, it does, but the stomach is really just a place for food to like get smaller, and then it moves on to the intestines when it's ready. So you do a lot of that in your mouth when you don't have a stomach anymore, and it's working fine so far. There are different types of connections that surgeons do when they take out your stomach. There's the J pouch, and then there's the Roux-en-Y. I think the one that I have is the Roux-en-Y and not the J pouch, because I don't have anything that is similar to having a stomach. I don't think so, but I don't know. Anyway, there are variations on both, which is like kind of insane. It's all insane. You can have stomach cancer without any symptoms. Like for me, I didn't have any symptoms. I had stage T1A, and people ask me all the time, what were my symptoms that made me get tested for stomach cancer? Yeah, the answer was none. People show up with stage 4 stomach cancer without ever knowing that they've been vomiting for a year because they have stomach cancer. And really, I think it's just about patient advocacy. If you think something is off, just ask for the bigger test, because I don't know, it's always good to just check. There's actually a really interesting debate right now about whether or not surveillance is better than total gastrectomy, stomach completely removed, because signet ring cell can sit in your stomach for who knows how long, but if you have the signet ring cell, the likelihood of you having cancer, stomach cancer, is pretty high. So for me, for example, I had those 16 signet ring cell foci just like waiting to explode, and I already had the cancer in my stomach, so I decided to just like take it out. But if all they found was signet ring cell foci, I don't know, maybe I would have chosen something different. But it's a very interesting debate happening in the medical community that like I had no idea existed until I had stomach cancer. There are different types of surgeries. So like there's the robot one, which I didn't have. There's the open one, which I also didn't have. But then there's the laparoscopic one, which I did have. I thought the laparoscopic one was the robot one, but maybe they aren't, or maybe they are. But anyway, the open one is the fastest because you just open up, take it out, put it back together again. But the laparoscopic one takes a little bit longer, but the healing time is a lot faster. So I was happy to have that. I just have like 4 tiny scars instead of one big one. But the open one does give you like a really badass scar that makes you look like you got bit by a shark. Stomach cancer staging actually has to do with how many layers of the stomach the cancer has breached. So for example, I had T1A because the stomach cancer had only breached the most inner layer of my stomach. If it had been even a millimeter more, it would have been a higher stage. Actually, there are stages inside of stages. So I had T1A, but if it had broken through another layer, it would have been T1B. And then if the lymph nodes had found localized spread, it would have been a higher stage 2. While they're removing your stomach, they're probably going to remove the lymph nodes as well. The surgeons are going to poke around and like remove lymph nodes in the local area to find out if there is any localized spread of cancer, meaning that it's probably in your system. So even if you feel good about being past the surgery, like for example I did, then I had to find out if there was any spread in the lymph nodes to find out my real staging. So even after the surgery, there's more terrifying anxiety and agony to find out. But you know, you're past the surgery. Consider subscribing, watching another video, and I'll see y'all soon. Thanks.